Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and I'm excited to bring you another episode absolutely free. This episode is one of many released every month, totaling over 80 episodes so far. Each one is meticulously digitally restored and stored in the cloud for your convenience, a process that incurs costs. To help cover these expenses, you might hear some advertisements throughout the episode. While we do retain the original commercials for historical authenticity, you may also encounter modern ads, which help keep the lights on. If you prefer an ad-free experience, we offer a couple options. You can listen to the episodes on YouTube. You can also support us by becoming a patron on our Patreon page. For more information, go to otrwesterns.com/donate. Again, otrwesterns.com/donate. I do want to emphasize that we are committed to providing this content to you for free, but also we have to be transparent about the financial realities to bringing this to you. Now, let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be The Lone Ranger. Original air date is February 16th, 1948, and the title is Man of Destiny. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo, Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion, Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Let's go, big fellow! I'm Silver! Ahoy!
It was almost dusk when Tonto, Indian companion to the Lone Ranger, returned from a trip to Frontier Town and reined up hurriedly at their camp in the Enchanted Hills.
Oh! Otto, you seem excited. What's the matter?
Kimasabi.
Yes?
Me see plenty Indian smoke signals. Them send message for Lone Ranger. Say Padre need help.
So leave at once for the mission, Tonto. Here, Silver.
There. If we leave now, we get to mission by dawn, maybe.
That's right. We can do it by then if we push a bit. Steady, easy, big fella. Come on, Silver!
Come up, Scout.
The following morning, after a night of hard riding, the Lone Ranger and Tonto arrived at the mission. The Padre insisted that they rest and eat before discussing the reason for having sent for them. Later, as they sat in the main room of the mission, the Padre spoke.
A matter has come to my attention, my son, which will take tact and courage to handle. That's why I sent for you through my Indian friends.
I'll do what I can, Padre. What's the trouble?
I shall do my best to make it brief. It is a most delicate matter, my friend. One that may affect the people of a nation.
I see. Please go on, Padre.
Here, at this mission, I have a guest. One whose life is at stake. He has come here for protection.
You mean he's here now, Padre?
See. And those who would take his life are hovering nearby. We feel certain of that.
But why haven't they come here, then, to take him?
Perhaps if you were to talk to him, my son, you'd understand a great deal that is difficult to explain.
Yes.
Will you see him and talk to him?
Who is the man, Padre?
I prefer that he himself tell you his identity. I've given my word not to mention his name to anyone.
I see. I'd like to meet your guest, Padre. And if possible, I'll help him.
I knew you'd say that. Come, we will go to him now.
Good. Come along, Tonto.
Who is there?
It is I, amigo, and I bring the man for whom we were waiting.
Come in, amigos. So, it is the masked man of whom you have told me, Padre. You are most welcome, amigo.
Thank you. This is Tonto, my trusted companion.
How?
The Padre also has made mention of the Indians.
See, I have told him much about you both.
I see.
I will leave you now to get acquainted.
Please, you will sit down, eh?
Thank you.
As for me, I cannot sit still for a moment. I walk a path across the carpet trying to think, senor. Trying to plan. I must find a way. I must.
The Padre has told us nothing. If you care to confide in us,
Oh, 1,000 pardons, senor, of course. It is of necessity most vital that I keep my identity from others.
The Padre warned us of that, senor.
You have perhaps heard of Senor Porfirio Diaz.
Yes, I've heard. Then you're Senor Diaz.
Si, senor, I am.
But I don't understand. I thought
You thought I was still in Oaxaca, Mexico, gathering forces against Lerdo, no?
That's right.
So others think also, senor. But they were closing in. I fled here to Texas until those I trust finished their preparations.
Oh, I heard some time ago that you'd come to Texas, Senor Diaz. But I also heard that you'd started back, that you'd received word that every...
Si, senor. The Padre is right. You have a way of finding out much. What you say is true. I did get word, and I did start back.
Then how did you get here at the mission?
Me not savvy that.
Let me explain, senor.
Certainly.
I have get word. I go to Corpus Christi, and from there I take a ship for Veracruz. But on board, my identity is discovered.
I see. What happened there?
Those devils, those spies who work for Sebastian Lerdo, they're everywhere. I am forced to save my life by jumping overboard. Then I swim several miles, maybe 3, maybe 4, until exhausted, I find myself on the Texas shore.
You're a very courageous man, Senor Diaz.
It is for my people that I must not die. That I must return to drive out the tyrant Lerdo.
That not be easy.
No, nothing worthwhile doing is ever easy, amigo.
Yes, that's true.
Those in power will do anything to prevent my return. Anything. But I must get to Veracruz. I must. I will.
Have you made any plans, senor?
No, not any plans so far that will work. Senor, you do not know how clever, how sly are the men who would prevent my return. Even now they know I am here at the mission. Even now they are keeping watch.
Well, if them know you here at mission, why them not come here, kill you?
At present they are content to keep me from leaving here. But they will not come to kill me yet. They could not keep the news of my death from being carried back at once. That does not suit their immediate purpose.
I don't understand that.
Senor, my compatriots in Mexico are making big plans. It is Lerdo's plan to keep me alive, but away from Mexico, until he has the chance to apprehend those whom I trust as ringleaders in our movement.
Go on, senor.
But do you not see, senor? Upon news of my death, my men would immediately disband, only to carry on opposition in other ways.
Now I understand what you mean.
See, that is good. 1 week from now, perhaps, when they have taken the ringleaders prisoners, the spies of Lerdo will move in here and shoot me as a traitor. To save our plans, to save our people. I must get away to Corpus Christi at once, to board another ship which sails tomorrow night.
I see. Perhaps, Senor, I have a plan that will outwit them and get you to Corpus Christi in time for the boat.
Oh, Senor, if you have such a plan, then I will be forever grateful.
My plan is simple, Senor. You and I are about the same build.
See, that is so.
Tonto will help me disguise my features to look like yours, Senor.
And then?
We will disguise your features with stain and markings.
See.
And we'll change clothing, Senor. You wearing my mask and riding my horse will go with Tonto to Corpus Christi.
Senor, you would do this for me?
I do it for Mexico, Senor Diaz.
It is a magnificent plan, Senor Lone Ranger. But I have no guns. I am unarmed.
You can use Tonto's guns. I'll lend him mine.
But, Kimosabe.
Yes?
You be here at mission with killers waiting outside. Them think you Senor Diaz. Maybe them come to kill you.
Senor Diaz said they wouldn't make a move for at least a week, Tonto. You can be back day after tomorrow.
That is so, Senor Tonto. If he stays inside the mission, he will not be harmed before your return. So he will not need guns.
That's right. After you come back, I'll put on my mask again and we'll leave here. Then when they come to seek Senor Diaz, they'll find he isn't here. I'm sure they won't harm the Padre.
I'm certain they would not, Senor.
All right, Senor Diaz. There's no time to lose. We'll go into another room where we'll fix my disguise in such a way that I'll look like you. Then Tonto will fix your disguise.
Senor, you have bring me new life.
When you ride out of the patio, you'll be wearing the mask and riding the horse of the Lone Ranger.
And you, Senor, will be waiting here as Senor Diaz.
Hurry. We have no time to lose, as I said before. In an hour, you and Tonto must be on your way to Corpus Christi.
It was almost an hour later when the Lone Ranger and the others gathered in the main room of the mission.
My son, were I not to know different, I would say you are Senor Diaz.
Senor Diaz look heap much like Lone Ranger with mask on.
Good. There's one thing more, Senor.
See, and what is that?
Let Tonto do the talking if necessary because of your accent. Once on the ship, you can pose as a Mexican rancher.
That is good warning. But, Senor, I, too, have think of something.
Oh, well?
They are most sly, those Lerdo men. If one should pose as a wayfarer, come to the mission to be sure Diaz is still here, your voice...
Si, Senor Diaz, but I have think of that, no?
Oh, Senor, it is almost myself who is speaking. Habla español, Senor.
Si, muy buen, mi amigo.
Padre, he is such a man as I have never met before. Porfirio Diaz, he will not forget.
My only hope is that you succeed, Senor. Now you and Tonto must leave. The horses are in the patio.
Come, we will go to the gate with you.
All right, big fella. We'll soon be together again. All right, mount up, Senor.
See.
Easy, Silver. Steady, big fella. Ready, Tonto?
Be ready. Me hurry to get back, Kimosabe, with Silver and your guns.
I'll expect you day after tomorrow. Adios.
Adios.
Adios, Senor, until we meet again.
Good luck, Senor Diaz. Adios.
My blessings go with you both. Adios.
Get up, Silver.
Get him up, Count.
My son, even Senor Diaz doesn't realize the risk you're taking. If Tonto should be detained for too long, it may mean your death.
Yes, I know, Padre. But Mexico needs Diaz. I'll risk anything to get him back there. Even death.
Meantime, on the other side of the hill near the mission, a wiry, grim-faced man stood talking to two rough-looking outlaws.
Some of my countrymen tell me you are complaining, senores.
Look, Gomez. You hired me and Ed to help you and your bunch run down Diaz. We got him cornered. Why not grab him now?
Phil's right, Gomez. Why wait? The masked man and Indian's gone, and he's alone with the Padre.
Time, amigos. I wait for a message that Diaz leaders in my country are taken.
And then what are you aiming to do?
We cannot take a chance that word of his capture or perhaps death might get back too soon. In 5 or 6 days, we will go into the mission and take Diaz.
Yeah, and then what?
He will try to escape by running away, no? Then we will shoot him.
So you'll make him start running and then gun him, huh?
Si, senor. You are clever to think it out. But do not fret over delays, amigos. You will be paid well.
All right.
I have many men with me, my compatriots. We will watch the mission closely, day and night. We play with him like a cat plays with a mouse, no? And like the mouse, Senor Diaz will die.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. All that day and night, the Lone Ranger waited and rested at the mission. Though unarmed and alone with the Padre, he felt secure with the knowledge that after another day and night passed, Tonto would return with silver and with his gun so that he could leave. The following day passed quietly. But at dusk, the Lone Ranger and the Padre were startled to hear the sound of the bell at the gate.
Someone's at the gate, Padre.
See. Perhaps I better not ask.
They can see the lamplight. I feel sure it isn't Lerdo's men. I'll feel better knowing who is there. Go to my room.
Very well. I'll go open the gate. Who is it? Who is it?
Padre, my husband and I, we have come to seek shelter.
Do not turn us away, please, Padre. We have come far, and we have yet a day's ride ahead. I fear for my wife's safety with so many rough hombres about in the night.
Well, then, come in, my friend.
Ándale, ándale.
Oh.
Dismount and come with me. I'll attend to the horses later. Who are you, amigos?
Senor and Senora Dareba, Padre. We are most grateful for your kindness. Oh, a table she has set for two, Padre. There is another here with you, perhaps.
See, there is another. A guest. I will set a third place, and both of you can have supper with me.
But your other guest, Padre.
He will prefer to eat in his room, I'm sure. I'll go prepare the food now. Make yourselves comfortable.
What do you think, Juanita?
It is he. Of that I feel sure, Carlos.
Oh, there must be no mistake. We must be sure.
Juanita will make sure, Carlos. When the lamps are out, then I will make sure. Never fear.
Later that night, without disrobing, the Lone Ranger lay on the cot in his room after turning out the lamp. He had no intention of sleeping. Thoughts ran rampant in his mind. The strangers in the next room. The thought that tomorrow Tonto would return and once more he'd have his guns. Suddenly in the darkness, someone slowly opened the door to his room. The quick mind of the Lone Ranger warned him to lie still. He was unarmed, and it was best to let the intruder get close enough to grab. As the soft, slow steps moved nearer, the Lone Ranger closed his eyes. His hands became clammy with tenseness, and he forced himself to breathe as if sleeping. As the steps stopped at his bedside, he waited. He realized now that a bullet, or perhaps a swiftly moving knife, might plunge into him. His mighty muscles tensed for the spring just as the intruder struck a match.
It is he, Senor Diaz. I must tell Carlos.
That girl doesn't know how close she came to a beating. I'll get a candlestick for a weapon and be ready when they... Better see what's going on. They've gone out.
What is it, my son? I heard voices.
The strangers. They've gone outside. Come on, Padre. They're riding away.
No use going to the door, amigo. We cannot detain them now. They must have been sent by Lerdo's men to make certain Diaz was still here.
Yes, but it puzzles me. Well, Padre, at least I can get a few hours' rest before their next move, I hope. And I'm going to turn in. A week has passed, Padre.
I know. I, too, am distressed.
If only I had my guns, it wouldn't be so bad. I feel like a prisoner, helpless with all those killers waiting out there. Padre, do you realize that if those men move in, I can't admit I'm not Diaz?
The thought didn't occur to me. Of course you can admit it. And then they'll...
No. Diaz is the hope of Mexico. Till I know he's safely there, I'll honor my pact with him to let them think I am Diaz.
But they may kill you, my friend.
I know, but on the other hand, They've come in broad daylight.
Go back into my room. Lock the door.
Look at the windows. They surrounded the mission.
Do not move, Senor Diaz.
So, you have no respect for the Padre and his mission, no?
Si, but of course. But the Padre should beware to whom he gives shelter, Diaz.
My mission is always open to those who seek shelter.
That's just too bad for you.
Quiet. Now, Senor Diaz, I have news.
Si?
A messenger has come to say that the names of your leaders are known. Even now they are being rounded up.
So, and what do you intend to do, senor, huh?
We were ordered to bring you back a captive, senor.
That's right.
But we do not want that trouble. We will be reasonable. We will take you outside, senor, and give you a chance to escape.
So that you can shoot me in the back, senor?
Si. That is what I am going to do. You are not armed. Grab him, senor.
No, you don't.
Grab him, he's a wildcat. Hold him. Stop. Or I shall shoot the Padre.
All right. All right, senor.
I do not matter, amigo.
No. Each, no use, Padre. There is too many.
That is better. Now, senores, bring the ambitious Senor Diaz outside. We will see how good he is at running. Now, Senor Diaz, you are free to go. The river is a short way. Perhaps if you run fast enough...
Courage, my son.
There's no way out, Padre.
Go ahead, Diaz.
They will run like the rabbit, no? Viva Senor Diaz, the so brave rabbit!
I just can't wait.
Adios, Padre.
My son, you...
Senores, I shall go now, but I shall walk, not run.
So... So the great Diaz would be heroic, Very well, senor. I, Rafael Gomez, shall give you a sporting chance.
That is most kind of you, senor, I am sure.
Please, Senor Gomez.
Quiet, old man. Now, Senor Diaz, walk toward the river. I will fire 4 shots, 3 of them over your head, the 4th at your back. You have a sporting chance, senor, if you decide to break into a run.
I will not run, senor. I shall go now. Adios.
Slowly, the Lone Ranger, still impersonating Senor Diaz, walked away from the group of men. He was determined to show courage to the smirking Gomez. He regretted not having his gun so that he might go down fighting. As he walked with head held high, the first shot shattered the air.
One gun.
His steps didn't falter as the bullet whined close. He could see the riverbank a short distance away, and tension mounted within him as he beat down the urge to make a run for it. Then, the second bullet whined above his head. Thoughts that would have panicked a less brave man raced through his mind.
Run for it. You can make the river before the last shot. Forget Diaz. Run, you fool. Run.
But the Lone Ranger gritted his teeth against this inner urging and continued his slow walk with death. Perspiration broke out on his forehead. His hands became clammy as he clenched them into hard fists. Once more a shot rang out. Again, thoughts raced through his mind.
The next one is it. The next bullet will dig into your back. You can still make it. Run!
He closed his eyes, but his steps didn't change. Each step that would soon be his last. The slow, steady march of death to save the honor of another. The Lone Ranger stumbled and fell to one knee. For a moment he rested. No sound came from the watching crowd of tormentors behind him. Then he got to his feet and continued his slow walk. Tension mounted within him as he waited for the fatal bullet. Words forced themselves from his tight lips.
Shoot. Shoot, you tormenting devil. Get it over with.
His face showed the terrific strain. His strong will overcame the urge of his steel-like muscles to spring forward into a fast run. Then...
The force shot it. Tonto! It's Tonto and troopers! Tonto! Tonto!
More scouts, more black. Oh, Silver. Oh, Kimasabi.
Tonto and Silver. Tonto, they were going to kill me.
We know. You see man raising gun to shoot? Me shoot first. You all right, Kimasabi?
Yes, Tonto. My mask and guns, quick. We'll help round up those devils.
Here's the man.
Good. Have the guns.
Here, your gun.
Oh, get them on. All right, let's go. Steady, big fella. 1, 2, there.
Scout.
After a fast and furious fight, Lerdo's men were overcome. Later in the patio of the mission, the Lone Ranger and Tonto with the Padre and others were gathered.
Tonto, we waited for your return. A scout hurt leg in Corpus Christi. Me not able to leave right way. Then we meet troop on trail.
I see. And Senor Diaz?
Oh, him get on boat. Him safe now. Girl and husband go for troopers. Colonel tell me that.
That's right, mister. They told me that Diaz was in danger here. Oh, here comes the girl now.
Oh, senor. We get here just in time, no?
Not a minute too soon.
My prayers were truly answered, my son.
The Padre told us the story, mister. It was a wonderful thing you did. Gomez is badly wounded. He and his men will be turned over to the Mexican authorities. We'll take care of the 2 Americans.
Senor, thanks to you, Diaz, our great liberator, is safe at last.
I am glad to have helped. Well, Tonto, we'll leave now. Adios.
Adios, amigos.
Padre, you have not told me. Who is this who has done such a wonderful thing for Diaz and for Mexico?
Tell her, Padre. Tell her as only you can of the greatness and the courage of the Lone Ranger.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. And send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike Copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.